Hello and thanks for joining us for our mid-morning edition of Arirang News. I'm Mark Broom. Our top story this morning, the UN Security Council has come down hard on North Korea, unanimously condemning the regime for its recent attempt to test-fire a ballistic missile. The Council is currently in the process of drawing up even stronger sanctions on Pyongyang for its September 9th nuclear test. Gonsoa starts us off.
Calling it a grave violation of international obligations under numerous UN Security Council resolutions, the 15 members of the Council strongly condemned North Korea's failed medium-range Musudan missile launch that it conducted Saturday. After holding an emergency meeting in New York Monday local time, Russia's ambassador to the UN, who is the president of the Council for this month, released a press statement that said the members of the Council deplore all of Pyongyang's ballistic missile activities and that such contribute to the regime's nuclear weapons delivery systems development and raise tension. The statement further stressed that the Council regrets that the regime is behaving this way while the North Korean people's needs are unmet. The members of the Council also asked for all UN member states to redouble their efforts in the implementation of existing sanctions on North Korea. The UN Security Council is currently discussing even heavier measures on North Korea ever since its fifth nuclear test conducted last month. In Washington, the U.S. denounced North Korea's latest provocation with similar words, saying the test violates UN Security Council resolutions which explicitly forbid such launches. White House spokesperson Josh Earnest also pointed out that threats like these are the reason why the U.S. and South Korea have been cooperating in talks regarding the deployment of the U.S. missile defense system THAAD in South Korea. Kwon-soa, Arirang News.
Now, despite Pyongyang's missile launch failure, a US expert says North Korea's aggressive testing schedule could see its Musudan missile enter operational service next year. Writing for the US-based North Korea monitoring website 38 North, John Schilling said the regime's failed Musudan missile launch last weekend is noteworthy, as it could be a sign the North is testing to see if they have really mastered something new. He said the move shows that, in spite of only one successful launch among 7 attempts this year, North Korea is not simply repeating old failures, but tweaking variables each and every time. Saturday's missile launch took place from its west coast, while the rest were launched near its city of Wonsan on the country's southeast coast. The South Korean government and the ruling Saenuri Party have decided to expedite the establishment of the nation's anti-missile system and kill chain strike program by the early 2020s. The decision was reached during a meeting between the two sides at the National Assembly on this Tuesday morning. The meeting was convened at short notice following North Korea's failed ballistic missile launch last weekend. The ruling Saenuri Party also called on the government to acquire nuclear-powered submarines, to which government officials said they would cautiously examine the request. The government and the ruling Conservative Party also agreed to secure extra funds next year to bolster South Korea's readiness to counter North Korea's cyber warfare threats. Now, in a bid to curb a worrying increase in household debt levels, Korea's financial regulator is studying plans to tighten regulations on savings banks that are extending credit loans at a rapid pace. The Financial Supervisory Service says it will tighten lending criteria and qualifications to stem the rate of increase and hedge against weakening financial soundness. Since last year, savings banks, which lend at higher interest rates than commercial banks, have been sharply increasing the volume of their loans compared to 2014, where the overall loans of savings banks stood at 27.6 trillion won, or $23.8 billion in the second quarter. The figure rose to nearly 40 trillion won, or $37 billion as of the end of June this year. The figure has increased sharply since the second half of last year, spiking about 30% over the same period in the previous year. Now, with about 3 weeks to go until the US presidential election, a new poll held over the weekend shows Hillary Clinton has a healthy 12-point lead over her Republican rival, Donald Trump. Kim Mo-gyun has more.
The survey released by Monmouth University on Monday puts Clinton ahead of Trump at 50% to 38% in a four-way race. The poll was the first to be conducted entirely since Trump's sexual assault accusations emerged. Slightly under two-thirds of the voters polled said they believed the allegations were credible, while 58% said they were not surprised by what they heard Trump say on the 2005 hot mic recording. Regarding Clinton's email leaks, a quarter of respondents said the WikiLeaks releases made them think less of the Democratic nominee. 45% said the transcripts had no impact on their impression of Clinton. The poll was conducted from October 14th to the 16th on 805 registered voters with a margin of error of plus or minus 3.5%. Other polls held by CNN on 3 critical battleground states, Nevada, North Carolina, and Ohio, showed that Trump had an edge over Clinton, 48% to 44% in Ohio, while Clinton had razor-thin leads in North Carolina and Nevada. The latest polls come amid reports the State Department asked the FBI to declassify Clinton's emails in a quid pro quo exchange for allowing FBI agents to get more foreign postings. The FBI and State Department have both denied the reports. The disclosures were immediately seized upon by Trump, who described the FBI documents as unbelievable and corruption at the highest level. Kim Mo-kyun, Arirang News.
Okay, well, that's all the news we have for now. For more, check out the website, arirang.com/news. We'll be back at 12 noon Korea time. So until then, goodbye.